not all of us take a chance on ourselves and our ideas, and I want you to do that. Which is why I want to tell you about our amazing sponsor at Fresh Start Ventures.
Fresh Start Ventures is a VC connector that started off as a blog, which now provides you everything you need for your startup, whether that be financial assistance, strategic help, or any other sort of mentorship that you require to get your idea to the next level.
Fresh Start Ventures is also aligned with the Pakistan e-commerce consortium, meaning they are the perfect people to go to in order to understand the vastly changing world that we live in when it comes to technology and e-commerce rapidly evolving every day.
Fresh Start Ventures has helped a bunch of startups get from their ideation stage all the way to the top, where they've consolidated themselves as top-notch businesses who have won laurels and awards in the industry.
If you truly believe in your idea and the only thing missing is support and some kind of financial backing in the long run, Fresh Start Ventures is your place to go, so please don't hesitate in reaching out to them today.
Visit www.freshstart.pk or the link in our bio.
And give your idea a fresh start. Let's get on with the video. Baby, I'm trying to tell you, you've been on my... Oh, sure. Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God. I was just thinking about you.
We started?
Yeah, we're going.
Oh,
that was the intro.
I had this entire thing planned out where I would be like, shut up. I'm a serious artist.
You should have done that. As soon as I was singing your own song, that would have been really like, shut up.
Well, a part of me was also going to harmonize with you.
I just want to do a thing where I'm humming your song and then I look at you like, oh, you're here.
Yeah. No,
I have so many questions.
Do you?
Yeah.
Please ask.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm good. I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on, dude.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
No, dude. I didn't want to tell you before this. I didn't want to tell you this before we started, but like since I was young, I grew up on a couple of names. Like, you know, Poor Rich Boy was one of them. And subsequently over the years when I entered uni, then Shorbanoor was one of them, right? I even attended one of your workshops when you came to Lahore School of Economics. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the Garden Cafe back in somewhere.
Yeah, I played a very depressing and long set.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay.
I absolutely loved it.
Okay.
And I've been wanting to talk to you, and especially since you released Prelude to Your Murder. In case you haven't checked it out, go check it out right now. Link in bio. So I just want to say, I've been following you for a while, and I'm so excited to see you come into this new phase of your own music that I know that you've embarked on very courageously.
Thank you.
So apart from the, you know, generic, how are you doing? I really want to ask you, like, how are you feeling these days? How are you doing when it comes to your music? And how are you feeling about, you know, everything that's going on around you?
I am really excited these days about this new direction that I've taken up. I think I've spent so much time writing a particular kind of song. And now that I've introduced myself to this entirely new kind of songwriting, not that it is a new genre of any sorts, because it's not. Just the fact that it's scary. It's scary because it's less personal than what it used to be. Before, it was like, you know, it was like an open diary, a codified diary, if you will. So it was like very personal stuff, but also vague enough and abstract enough where you couldn't really tell what I was talking about. Yeah. And over here with Prelude to Murder, it's just, baby, I want to tell you, you've been on my mind.
I love it.
So, yeah.
You hate this, don't you?
Hate what?
You hate singing or composing or writing like this. At least I don't mean to. That's a very like harsh assertion to make. I just mean, like, do you cringe at yourself?
Yeah. No, it was really difficult, especially with the video. It was very difficult. Not those people who have seen me perform, though, are aware that there is a side of me where I am not taking myself too seriously. I'm not taking anything too seriously. Here I am. I'm doing just that. Yeah. and that's all I'm doing. And so it gets a little nerve-wracking. I'm like, where are the complex metaphors that I used to invoke? Where are they?
And neither did your father. I love that line, by the way. Absolutely love it.
It's supposed to be funny.
It is,
and it's not about anything except.
And here's what I want to kind of elaborate. So when I say, are you cringing at yourself? I don't mean to say that the things you're making are cringe. I just mean knowing you and knowing the kind of music you used to play. And also just like the way you would, I would say, I guess, approach music or think about it. Maybe that's more something you can tell me about. I would imagine the shift is, A, it's really drastic, and B, I'm sure it's like something which you really had to have a lot of conversations with yourself about.
That's not the only thing. It's also the first time I properly promoted my music as Shorbanoor.
I love that.
The first time I put money in this bullshit.
I love it. I'm so glad you did.
Thank you.
And honestly, like, it's like that's the thing which I'm most happiest about. It's not about like, oh, I can flip on a Shorbanoor song now and when I'm driving somewhere or when I'm having a good time, as opposed to just when I'm in my, most intricate and deepest thoughts. Like more than that, it's so good and it's so catchy.
Thank you.
You're like a two sport player, and I mean that as somebody who like sports की दुनिया में बहुत घुसा हुआ है. Two sport player is somebody who does like really good in boxing, does really good in like wrestling, and then he's a two sport player, and that's really hard to come by. You played your sport of like songs which are, I would say, relatively way more in introspective and all of that, and now you're in a completely different realm, and you're so good at both.
Thank you. I mean, this was my first attempt. This is my first attempt sort of doing that. I was supposed to be releasing another song, and I was making a video for that. And in the middle, I wrote this song and got it recorded like ASAP.
Wow.
And then we just made the video about that. That was what happened. What I'm doing right now, you asked me how I was, and I told you I was excited. What I'm excited about is continuing to write in this format.
Yeah.
So I've been writing for like 10, 11 years now.
Yeah, wow.
And I've been writing nonstop, actually. And so I'm in a place now where I've to start from scratch. I mean, in many ways, I've even in my career, I'm starting as a musician. I'm starting from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's exciting because now there's a new song coming out. I have to make a video for it, but I've almost produced it.
Yeah.
It's in the same vein. I was going to go in a different direction. I actually have 2 other songs that are very much like the old Shorbanoor stuff. But then I was like, no, let's stick with this. Let's stick with this. Let's see if I can write a better song than that. And I'm really excited about that one. When everything's off, when everything's said and done, I'll make you listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Thank you. That's losers. Get your own podcast. Huh? Then you'll get to hear Shorbanoor exclusives. No, I'm really thanks for that. And I'm excited. And yeah, dude. Like, so take me to what I don't want to say. What made you do it? Flip the switch, so to speak. I don't think that's not as important as, because ultimately there's a couple of motivators everybody has or should have in life, which is survivability, and then beyond that, it's like how good can you do with yourself in the time you have on this planet. You want to, I don't know what your aspirations are, so we'll get to that in a bit, but what were you experiencing when you thought, oh damn,
No.
That's never happened. I've never jabbed myself in the face with my own microphone. My watch is okay. What were you experiencing? What were you, pretty much going through when you decided, okay, it's time to go the other way, musically, artistically?
I wasn't thinking. I just stopped thinking. I stopped focusing so hard on the craft.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't pay attention to the details that I used to pay attention to. Wait, actually, so I also teach.
Yeah.
I also give private lessons to kids and adults, and sometimes I do these songwriting workshops. And in one of these songwriting workshops, I sort of gave this guy, I gave him these arbitrary rules. Okay, acha, is tarah likhna, these are your limits. And you have to make a song out of these. And these rules are just arbitrary. There are no rules, but mostly people need a place to start from.
Right.
And I realized I've never done that for myself.
Yeah.
So what I did was I said to myself, I was like, okay, you're gonna do whatever you do, and then go in the other direction. And then this song came out, Prelude to Murder.
So this is everything you wouldn't do.
Yeah, actually, but I wouldn't do naturally. Like the chords are really simple and they're repetitive. I've almost always jettisoned repetition, almost to a fault. And over here, there's repetition. There's a groove. I'm writing to a groove.
There's a hook.
There's a hook that repeats over and over and over again. But yeah, and I was like, this is okay. I don't need to work this fucking hard. I can cuss, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to work.
Like
this
I said,
hard.
you can shoot hero. You can do whatever you want.
Maybe later. I just didn't want to take myself so seriously anymore. I didn't want to work that hard.
Yeah.
Because I know why I was working hard in the first place. Like everybody has this motivation, this reason, right?
Yeah.
Why they want to do what they want to do. And I've always known what that was with music. Over here, that reason to do it changed. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, that's all. I just wanted to have fun with it. I wanted to make it look glossy. I wanted to make it look colorful.
Yeah.
And
Tangerine. Sorry.
Tangerine.
Like, it was a lot of orange in there. I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never mind. And
that's all Zan P, I guess.
Shout out Zan P.
Zan P and Luke.
I love you guys.
Yeah, they are the best. Amazing work ethic. Another thing, watching these guys like Tucker Duck, looking at Natasha Noorani, even Manu.
Yeah.
So these three people, right?
Yeah.
I've seen these guys work. Their work ethic, and they have a kind of even-headedness about them.
Yeah.
Right? Where there's this very nice balance between putting in the work, putting your heart into it, but also being cognizant of the fact that दूसरों ने भी सुनना है और उसको promote भी करना है और this is also a business.
Yeah.
So they really inspired me to do this. Where I'm like, अच्छा ठीक है, game है ना ये.
Yeah.
खेलते हैं.
हाँ. I love that. No, seriously, because I'm yet to see what I think Tucker Tuck's like the last album we have on the wall as well. I feel like that was their I feel like that was like their most commercial sounding project possible, keeping in mind the realm that they're in. I'm sure they can do more commercial stuff if they want to, but even when they went on to Velo, what is Velo?
I don't know.
Yeah, sound station jab gaye the wo, right? Uspe bhi they played something which was, but then Natasha and Manu have done very good. Like I listen to Chodo when I'm like working out or driving or whatever. It's such a nice song. And same with a lot of Manu's tracks. Or game, you're right. It's a game about like not just commercial success, but then also like I'm sure everyone who like makes music, which is not everyone, most people who make, and tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, because I don't know anything about music, right? Most people who would make a mainstream song still can go to a path where they like focus on a lot of detail and stuff like that, and make songs which are more artistic, so to speak, as opposed to less commercial. But I feel like a lot of them consciously make this effort and say, yeah, you know what, like I'm gonna make something which sells, as opposed to just, and that's not a bad or wrong thing to do at all.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think that's something which people should frown upon anymore.
Like that's the thing. So I'm from a generation of Lahoris who, as I said before, took themselves very, very seriously, took this work very, very seriously, and were looked down their noses on commercial stuff and that working. And Natasha, she's a friend of mine, and she कोई इंटरव्यू करी थी, वो पता नहीं कहाँ पे. She said ना कि ये जो the complaining about the industry, the complaints about it, like एक तो गेम खेलनी नहीं है, ठीक है, ऊपर से complain भी करना है कि कोई हमें सुनता नहीं है. So I was very much that person too, back in the day. अब जो लोग अभी तक कर रहे हैं वो उनका मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, लेकिन जो अभी है, जो scene है अभी, वो ये है कि these guys know there's no ifs and buts about it. It's difficult to make money off of this.
Yeah.
It's difficult to enter, especially if you're female. It's difficult to penetrate the market.
Yeah.
And you just gotta get it done.
I feel like this, I don't know if it's a generational thing or what. I don't know if it's just that people, I feel like also as time goes on now, like I feel like there's a lot more ease to doing I feel like there's also a mindset shift. I don't know where I would fall in this whole bracket when it comes to like, I feel like maybe middle child kind of thing where, you know, I'm slightly older than Manu and Co in their generation. Like just slightly, I would still even classify as, but then definitely like, you know, like not like I'm a generation below you and everyone else who's their time. Pata nahi, I just feel like more than also okay yaar, people used to think like this versus people do think like this. I'm sure a lot of people still think like, you know, कि हाँ हम बजा तो रहे कुछ सुन नहीं रहा, you know what I mean?
Art.
Yeah,
I'm a serious artist. मेरा art. कितना भारी है मेरा art.
Museum में होना चाहिए मेरा art है all the time man.
Fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, but because I'm sure उस तरह के लोग होंगे, I truly think over time there has been a more, I don't want to use the word democratization of resources. That's who says that, right? I just mean that it's easier now, slowly, because of how things are shaping. Like we were talking about before, a phone is often all you need to make content that can go insanely viral on the, and I'm not talking viral, I'm not talking about 20,000 hits on YouTube kind of Ray William Johnson viral from back in the day. I'm talking about 100 milli like TikTok viral.
Hassan Rahim.
Anyone, dude. So many people can go like so viral on the internet just through a phone. So I feel like people identify that, and I feel like it's like this is the right approach to look at it. Like if we can do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Like don't try to figure out who's supposed to guide you or who's supposed to tell you like, oh, this is how you should do it. Cool. Just do it. And just keep doing it until like you kind of just figure out, achha, this is where I can or can't do, you know, with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm so glad that, but do you still feel as if your artistic, more melancholic songs still have a place
in my life,
in the grand scheme of things when it comes to Mr. Shorbanoor?
Yeah, I couldn't get rid of them even if I tried.
Yeah,
they're right there. I just don't feel like putting them out. I don't feel like putting my money on them right now because not because just I don't feel the need.
Yeah,
I don't feel the need. It's not written for that purpose.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
Bas yahi baat hai. The older stuff, like when I left Porridge Boy, I didn't promote my music at all. So they're like 1, 2, 3 EPs or 4 EPs if you go to my Spotify, my backlog. It's all there. And they're like shitty recordings, and maybe one has a video. In fact, only one has a video from that time. I think Merchant.
Yeah.
That's the song that has a video. It's also the more popular song from that entire lot. The fact of the matter is the numbers don't justify me putting any kind of money and investing any kind of thing into any kind of time into those songs.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's going on. But why did I write those songs? Why did I put them out? Right? That's the thing. That's a conversation we can have.
Why?
Why should we have that conversation?
No, why did you put those songs out, dude? You got me there for a second. I was like, we did that thing, yeah.
No. Why did I write the songs?
Yeah.
So, for example, the last EP that I wrote, and possibly the last EP I write for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't plan on writing a group of songs together that have some kind of cohesive message. All right. The last EP I wrote was a culmination of the last 5 years of writing, and they're just like a couple of songs that I selected from that batch.
Okay.
And that I wrote after I left Porridge Boy, around the time when my father passed away, and I became a father, and those two things kind of overlapped. Actually, I became a father. I lost my father, and I think the the day that my father passed away, the next day was janaza tha. जब मैं वापस घर आया, I live by myself. My family has another house, and I went back home to my wife. I just called Samir Ahmed from Coven over. Okay. I don't know if you guys know about Coven.
I've heard of Coven. Yeah, they used to be a rock band.
They used to be a rock band. The bassist is a good friend and is a great musician, and he's worked in Shorbanoor before. Okay. This is before I came up with Shorbanoor.
Okay.
So I called him over. I called Fahad Khan over. He's a drummer.
Okay, I thought Fawad Khan.
No.
I was like, yo, casual.
Casual diya Khalfa. And Atif Aslam.
Yeah, my boy Fawad. yeah.
No, and God bless them. And they came over, and we started writing. Just the next day I started writing, and I kept writing and writing. And I don't know why I did it at that point in time. In retrospect, it makes more sense. Like, the songs, I got into music to understand myself better. I got into music to explore the craft of songwriting. I'm really, really passionate about songs in general.
Yeah.
And how they're structured and stuff like that. And it is only now when I listen to those songs can I make better sense of what I was feeling at the time, because at that time I had no idea. I think so. My father was in Seattle when he passed away. So I didn't. He's not buried here. He's buried there. Yeah. Okay. And for the longest time, I didn't get to see him. I didn't get to see him go. And I didn't really know what to do with myself, if that makes any sense. Like, I was feeling things, but then I couldn't articulate them.
Yeah.
I couldn't articulate them to myself, but I could write the songs, and I wrote the songs. And looking back, I was just mourning, and I was celebrating as well. I was celebrating his life. I think for people, a friend of mine just lost his father, I think, yesterday.
Oh, man.
And I was just this got really, really dark.
No,
really heavy, really quickly. So I messaged him over the phone, because I don't think he wanted to speak to anybody. I know that back then I didn't want to speak to anybody, but I messaged him over the phone because, looking back on the songs, and thinking about death. In fact, I wrote a lot about death. I realized that my closure on my father's passing was it was that when we go, I think we turn into stories and memories.
Yeah.
And those are embedded in the hearts of people that you love.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's how they stay with you.
Yeah.
That's how my father is still with me, in terms of memories and stories.
Yeah.
And those can be communicated. I can tell you that he was very fun-loving, for example.
Yeah.
I can say that, and he can almost breathe now.
Yeah.
Because I said it, right?
Yeah.
And maybe he's growing older as I'm growing older. And songs are the same. Songs, when the song works, and when a song is written honestly, in my experience and in my opinion, it seems to have flesh and bone.
Yeah.
And it becomes a living thing, and it grows and it changes. So every time you look into the song, when you look at the song, it changes because you've changed, right? Yeah. And especially if you keep it vague enough. I use the word vague. It's not actually the right word, because there's clinical precision there as well.
Yeah.
But when you write something that can read in many different ways, then depending on who looks at it, it'll be different, right? Subjective, ho jata hai.
Yeah.
But let's say what people forget about subjectivity is that if you are reading it one way, and then something happens to you and you change,
yeah,
you come back to the song and it changes.
Yeah. That's also subjectivity.
And that's also subjectivity. And that just that gets me to this day. When I remember in my A levels, and I used to have really bad social anxiety, not like severe kind of social anxiety, but I used to be very actually, because I had nothing in common with the people that I was in school and with the people I was in school. I would go in there and it occurred to me that, I can just escape to a song.
Yeah.
And things will be better.
Yeah.
So I forgot my point.
No, but I this makes a lot of sense. And, like I always used to think like a song holds, I have written songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've played music.
Okay.
Used to play I started playing when I was in like 01. And that's why I attended your songwriting workshop as well. Because I was still playing in uni, like, this is 2 years ago. And I used to write songs. The last song I properly wrote was for somebody I really liked. And it was my way of kind of asking them out. Corny, but it was a whole song.
Yeah.
And when I initially played it, the intention was for it to be kind of goofy and kind of like nice, and it worked. It was great. It was the whole like thing. And now when I listen back to that song, I think about it again. It means something completely different. Like not that the like everything's still fine in that aspect of my life. Like even with that song and that person, everything is good. But when I look back at it now, I kind of see the problem as well, like with me writing that song, which was that I couldn't just go up to somebody and say, hey, this is how I feel, and
but it's also like a picture of a place and time.
Yeah, but
right?
That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I still love it. It's changed like meaning to me where I'm like, okay, and I don't play music anymore. And that's also I'm really happy with that. Like I play for myself. I don't record. I don't sing to people or anything. But I don't anymore because I realize that's not what I need to focus my time and energy. It's talking to people on the mic, all of that. That this is what I want to do. This is what I'm good at. And I don't sing to that person anymore, but I sure do tell them a lot of things now. You know what I mean? And that's what the meaning kind of changed for me over time. Whereas I don't want to write music anymore because I feel like the medium can also change, and the meaning of what you're saying can also change over time. But I can't imagine like something so something that alters your life and the way you think about it so heavily, and writing the day after, and like that, and of course I'm sure it must have changed meaning over time. And I'm sure like even now when you look at like the music you're still writing or you have written before, it's little, and the thing you said to me really makes me want to grab a pen and start writing again, because there is people that have left me that I haven't been able to deal with or process with. Like when you were talking to me about the whole thing, I was like, I feel the same. Like I can't talk about it. I can't talk about Sylvia Short, who was like my whole, like she's like a mother to me. Like when I was in the US, she, whatever, I don't want to, I can't, what I mean? Like it's hard for me still. But what I know is that I can probably grab a pen and paper and I can just write a song about it. And I might just do that tonight. Thanks.
You're very
no,
welcome.
That was the point of what you were saying. I feel like that really, really helped.
Oh,
like it made, anyway.
Thank you for that.
No, thank you, dude. Thank you, bro. But I know. Don't worry. We're both kind of stuck in a point where we don't know what to say next. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It happens because that's some heavy shit we talked about, bro. We need a minute to like decompress the energy. But damn, Shorbanoor, thanks for that, man.
You're very welcome.
But I want to go back to talking about music motivation, though. Like, and your motivation to writing music. I mean, of course, I'm sure it varies in terms of what but now when you sit down, you say, okay, like the next song you're about to release, what do you, so you told me you write what you're feeling and all of that, you go to a place in your mind where you want to think about what you're doing, but now is it still the same way? You told me you go the reverse of what you're thinking, but how does that work? Like, how do you go like, I'm about to write this, you know what, let's flip it, like how, elaborate.
So okay, let's see. So usually I'll pick up a guitar. Now I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, I've started playing the piano a lot more. So now I just change the instrument. Usually I'll just play slow chords in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm like, and when I did the Shorbanoor shows at True Brew, Rest in peace, Shubu.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
They were. I realized that while I was playing the set, they were almost all in 3s. So I'm like, no, let's not do that anymore. Now let's get back to 4. So that's a conscious decision.
Yeah.
Otherwise, naturally, if I was just there emoting, it would just come out. Because apparently, I don't know why.
Yeah.
It just happened. So that's another conscious decision. Then the second thing is to let's see.
When it comes to songwriting, like.
Yeah, no, this is all part of songwriting. So let's. If I was to define what a song is, I feel that it's just my interpretation, but like I feel like it's an intersection between three things. Number one is the music, but that actually is just 1/3.
Yeah.
Then there's the writing, the lyrics. That's the second part. And the third part is just the performance. You can focus on any one of these and still have a song. So it doesn't have to be musically proficient. It doesn't even have to be good lyrics.
Yeah.
But if you give a real performance, and you can add a different dimension into the performance, it can make the song be something else. Case in point, Daniel Johnston. Have you heard him?
No. Have you, Omar? No, sorry.
Daniel Johnston. He's the Americans, they'll call him an outsider artist.
Okay.
Outsider art, get this go.
Take it.
So he was one of those guys. He has this song, "True love will find you." He sings like that.
Yeah.
In the end, you'll find out just with who, with your friends. Pretty basic.
Yeah.
But then he has this line where he's like, "Don't be sad, I know you will," and that really gets to me. It's a very simple line, but it's just the way he said it. Yeah. The music is basic in comparison to other kinds of music, but it's just the way that's delivered. That's a song.
Word.
Done. It's a song. You can't take that away from him.
Yeah. And so any one of these 3 elements, if you have it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, any one of these 3 elements. So over here, I'm sort of focusing less on the lyrics.
Yeah.
Somewhat on the music and performance. So the performance is it has to communicate a good vibe, because I want to feel a good vibe.
Yeah.
So I want to communicate a good vibe. So that's the first thing. And with the music, I'm just taking whatever I know and not thinking too hard and just playing. Before I was very, very calculated about that. The chords I'll intentionally make them move in a particular direction. I think the musicians of Lahore know what my style is.
Yeah.
This is not my style. Prelude to Murder is not my style. Lots of major chords in there.
Yeah.
In one key. And I'm just trying to have a lot of fun with it. And I'm trying to groove to it. And that's about it.
You looked great in the video.
Thank you.
Like, you looked hot.
Thank you.
Sorry, I don't mean to make you blush. You turned the AC down a little bit. No, but seriously, like, you look freaking awesome. And I mentioned this before we start as well. The Shorbanoor. And here he is. There it is.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I love that. Oh, look at that. Dude, that is so dope. There's no other way to describe it. That is dope as fuck. And
that's my father's ring.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, his name is Noor. So,
then what's with the Shorba?
Just tone on.
Okay, I will, but later.
Yeah.
Can you play a little bit of this? I just want to get to the part where we see this sexy hunk. So tell me about the hair. I'm not gonna put you through that. But the styling, I really like the shirts. I'm a big fan of shirts like this. I think Umar Fassi will agree with me as well that he is also who did this?
Ra-AY is
Ra-AY? Oh, dude, I just met Rana the other day.
Oh, really? This is one of his shirts.
Oh yeah, okay.
And Haya Bukhari, she was the stylist on this. She did me a solid with this, and I asked her to style me. I've never asked anybody to do that.
How hard was it to jump dancing backwards? You did it like 10 seconds ago.
Not hard at all. So I don't know. Those of you who've seen me at Poor Rich Boy gigs, I was very animated.
Yeah.
I teach drama and I teach music.
Okay.
So this is a part of the job, I guess.
Now, I can just see those Flux Media signature
Exactly.
things in there. I love them, man. They're so good,
They're
yeah.
the best. Thank God for them.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out.
I love this set wherever this is. So good.
My friend's house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
That's Alisa Hale's there too.
In a bathtub.
Yeah.
Love
God
him.
bless him.
Yeah, seriously. You teach drama. You use drama. So I said dramatics, and then I went halfsies on it. So you teach drama?
Now I don't want to.
President of the drama club.
Drama club. I used to teach drama. I teach drama and music. Currently, I just teach music, elementary to elementary kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been teaching for 10 years, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you like kids?
I love it.
Oh.
I love it. In fact, I'm inshallah, I'm going to go do my master's in education.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Are you planning to apply soon?
Yes.
Because I'm also, so I was like,
really?
Maybe we could just.
In education?
No. Education. Public administration. But okay. Education tempts me because I really want to, I maybe, because if nothing else, like the ring announcing falls apart, can't commentate for it, a day in my life. Nothing else, and I feel like teaching would be fun because I love running my mouth and also like listening. Both I feel like can be good.
I like teaching saved my life, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. I almost as much as I love writing songs now.
It's kind of beautiful that you mentioned like you weren't the most social kid in school. Now you're like teaching there. I feel like that's just something beautiful there.
No, thank you.
And like do you see a lot of kids? Can you point them out like this kid's having a tough time? Like you should probably like go easier on him or something.
So in teaching, one of the things that we do now that all of us, everybody in this room probably didn't experience is differentiated learning. So differentiated learning is where, there's a classroom, there are like 13 kids, TK. They all learn in particular ways, right? They all learn differently. And if you give them one assessment, then sure, like it makes your life easier. Ek test up there though, up here you can give them a grade and it's quantified, right?
Right.
But it's not a complete picture.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously.
All right. I was not good at English growing up, and I write in English now. Like, what does that say?
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
So, differentiated learning is where. Closer to the mic. Okay. Differentiated learning is where you will present that same paper, that same test in different ways. Maybe you can take a test, and maybe you can give me a presentation, or you can draw me a picture, or you can make a play out of it, write a song out of it. You can, and being able to do that and working hard as a teacher, doing that and presenting your students with those options includes everybody.
Right.
And nowadays in school, you have an SEN program where people with learning difficulties can also come into the picture and they can be catered to too.
Oh, no.
So if there's one concept, let's say keeping in time, not everybody's going to do that. I can't just grade them.
Yeah.
Some people may not physically be able to do that.
Yeah.
But how can we communicate that concept, or if not that skill, then how can we at least instill an appreciation for it, or at least gauge an understanding of why it's necessary in music?
Right.
So, yeah, I'm very, very passionate, and I'm very, very passionate about differentiated learning, but I also don't know how to do it perfectly yet.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited by it, because I don't fully understand it.
I was just thinking, like, there's a lot of questions I already have. So, for example, as a teacher, what if you can't, or what if you aren't proficient in grading the 4 different kinds of mediums that you're now allowing students to, and then like just the inner debater in me, I guess, was just like immediately I'm just thinking like, so, and I want you to tell me and the beautiful viewing audience, leave a subscribe. I want you to tell us both, based on the most important thing, which is learning objectives, because I think that's why you or any institution teaches people to communicate certain learning objectives, and tick tick tick, they learn that, and then and I get that, but is this making school easier, so to speak?
Interesting.
And when I say easier, that can mean, yes, that everybody gets a good grade now. So there's not the competitive drive. But then do we even need that? You know what I mean? That's the perspective I'm thinking. Maybe it's better to create a place where not everybody's trying to get first place or whatever.
So, I don't know about first place and stuff, but if the question is there still enough rigor? Absolutely, because that's what you're assessing. It's difficult. It's not easy. I don't fully understand it myself. If everybody's working at different styles of learning, if everybody has a different style of learning, and you're going to make an assessment for each of those styles, you still have to really take them to task in each medium. I mean, it's not going to be likely that in a group of 13, each kid has their own plan. That's not going to happen. It'll be grouped, right? And what was your question?
So, do you think it's making learning easier? And if it is that a good thing?
It is making learning more accessible.
Right.
Accessible.
I like that.
Yeah. And that's exactly what a school should fucking do.
I was gonna say, I hear a lot of people protest, we're not, everybody's getting participation trophies now, and that. I'm like,
and so what? Actually,
I'm like, yeah, it's so fucking what?
So what?
Grow up.
You know what? I'm gonna speak to my subject. But Victor Wooten ka to pata hai. He's a bit. Sorry. So he's a.
Sorry, you said it like Victor Wooten ka to pata. I'm like. That happens to me so much.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's fine. No, it's fine. I don't.
We should talk about sports right after this. So that
no.
Evens out.
No. It's my fault. It's my fault.
Victor Wooten, he's a bass player. He's a very famous bass player. He's also an educationist in his own right. So we'll get that music about him. He's like, when kids learning how to speak, do you say, hey, you're speaking wrong, incorrectly, I'm not going to talk to you. Right?
Yeah.
He said this is an interview. I'm just quoting it that. You don't do that with kids. And why should you do that in music?
Yeah.
Hannah?
Yeah.
And that just blew my mind. You must still engage with them honestly.
Yeah.
You must honestly engage with them for them to learn, and for you to learn as well about that kind of mind.
Interesting.
Huh? Yeah.
I think you're somebody who one of the so from all the people I've interviewed, I think you're one of those. You're probably the person who takes their crafts the most seriously and yourself the least seriously. And I think that's brilliant. I think I like that. I feel like maybe sometimes people might confuse the two. When you're talking so passionately about your music, they're probably like, oh, she thinks he's such hot shit. No, I think you just spend a lot of time thinking about what you do and how you do and why you want to do it. Is that true? Do you spend a lot of time just pondering?
Yeah, that's all I did.
Is it just thought? Do you also, obviously you write as well, but how do you manage your thoughts is what I want to know. And how does that end up in your music? Because there's a big gap in between what you think and how you translate it into your art or whatever you do. What's your
how does it go from here to there?
What's your process?
What's my process?
I love this question.
Oh shit, man. I'm gonna stretch out. Okay. What's my process?
You can take a minute.
I can't feel my ass. I've been driving all day, by the way.
Same, I get you. And my wallet's still in my back pocket. Get that shit
out.
Oh, my pant buttons.
Oh.
We're going to wait for you to think of your answer.
What was the question?
Unless you don't want to. I completely understand.
No. Let's go for it.
What's your process? How? Now, I want to tell you, okay, this is what I do. Have a bowl of oatmeal, write some shit. I mean, what are the things that you feel are necessary for you to do what you do?
Nick Cave, he gets up in the morning, wears a suit, goes to his office, and he sits at a piano, and he has a desk full of papers, and he works 9 to 5. That's his songwriting process, right? he has this really cool documentary on YouTube called Abusing the Muse, where he's like, fuck waiting for inspiration, I just go to it. So I'd taken that's one thing that I would do. But since I can't actually, it's not 9 to 5 for me.
Yeah.
It's just always it's just always happening. You don't actually need a piece of paper or an instrument to make music. Or to, my brother, he's a sitarist, and he's also a teacher.
Right.
He's in Boston University में होते हैं.
Oh wow.
So he's a brilliant sitar player. Brilliant.
Oh, okay.
And he used to travel everywhere with his sitar. And then recently, he wasn't bringing his sitar. I'm like, dude, don't you want to practice? He's like, I am practicing. I'm like, what? He's like, I am practicing. Like, I am thinking musically. That is it.
Wow.
That is it. The rest is technique. The rest is just muscle. And it's the same thing with songs, where I allow, what my process is that I allow it to happen. I consume things that I love.
Yeah.
And then I regurgitate it.
Uh-huh.
And then I merge that with what I'm feeling or my life story. And then I allow the process to happen. One of the things I'm very proud of in terms of teaching kids and adults alike, and just friends and conversation, what I feel like I've been able to contribute in whatever capacity, is telling them that if you're afraid of the thought that's come into your mind that you're putting out, and you're afraid of other people critiquing it, then don't do this. Don't do it. You must let that happen. That embarrassing thought needs to come out.
True.
And that bravery, that hesitation needs to go, and it's an act of bravery. That's it. In fact, when I workshop songs with people, I literally, and I've told this to them as well, these rules that I'm telling you, they're bullshit. They're bullshit, because I see them squirming around them, and I'm like, okay, let's leave that. Now what would you say? Let's leave that. Now what would you say? Now what would you do? Now what would you do? And when they have a thing going on, and I see them self-correcting, then I'm like, no, what were you doing there?
Yeah.
And now become comfortable with that. Sit in the fire that is your anxiety or your low self-esteem, whatever it is. Sit in there. Stay there. That is half the job. Allowing yourself to just do this. Express yourself, because life it's difficult to move around life viewing people as complex organisms. It's easier to me like, oh, this guy, he likes sports, he's a sports dude, or that guy's a nerd or whatever. But ultimately we are complex individuals. Allowing ourselves to just do that and not caring about how we are viewed is the path of least resistance towards creative output. That's what I think.
Facts. No, seriously, because
I still can't feel my ass.
No, you're completely right. I feel this is something a lot of people tell their students in MMA and martial arts, like
really?
What you just said.
That's
all
it.
of that, like that. The reason I was relating to it so much is two ways. One is because of the podcast thing, not the camera. I mean, like this thing was, and Umar knows this. Like when we started, I'd be the guy who's like, "Is my hair okay? Can you show me the frame? Do I look fat?" Like the whole thing. Like I would go over it every single time until Umar like said something very simple, like like, "Oh, dude," like he said joking. He's like, "Nobody's watching," and I was like, I wish that was the case. And I was like, I just have to start pretending like nobody's watching, and then just let loose, just like whatever, like you said, whatever I have to sit in, this low self-esteem, this all what my hair, this is what I have to sit in. And in MMA, the biggest thing they tell fighters is that you have to live in the uncomfortable until it becomes the comfortable. Like you train so hard that the fight's easy. Like when you train 10 5-minute, nobody should do that. I think like maybe you train 8 5-minute rounds or 7 5-minute rounds. I think people do train 10 15 5-minute rounds, so that when you have to do a 5 5-minute round fight, you're just like I've done 10. I've done 15. So you've spent so much in the uncomfortable region of, what you want to do, that you just become comfortable in it. I think that's what a lot of creation should be centered around, which is not just embracing or dealing with the things that make you uncomfortable, but putting them center stage. This is what I am. This is what I'm like,
Nice. Yeah.
That's George St. Pierre, by the way. He's here somewhere. GSP is not. Where is GSP? We lost him. George St. Pierre. These are our Funko Pops, by the way. I didn't introduce you before. That's Godfather, Conor McGregor, Kazuya. The rest are not important. But yeah, there's George St. Pierre, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Somebody asked him like, how do you fight? And he said, so whatever the other person does best, that's not what I'm doing. So it's like he'll take the person to the deepest waters. The other guy can't strike, suddenly George St. Pierre is a wrestler. If the other guy can't wrestle, suddenly George St. Pierre is a striker. If the other guy can't do jiu-jitsu, suddenly George St. Pierre is like, pulling guard. He does the opposite of what, and the only reason he can do that is because he has put himself through every possible uncomfortable position in his life throughout his martial arts. So he's gotten to a point where he's like, do your worst. You know what I mean? I've dealt with all of it. I feel like that is what.
That's intriguing.
Yeah, that's what, dude. I'm not kidding.
What about football?
Football?
Is there a?
No, that sucks. Fuck football. No, okay. Ismail's not here. He's the football guy. No, but there's a lot of deep thought that you have to put towards. I think anything you do, if you do it seriously enough. Like, there's a lot of people I've seen who do MMA, but they don't think about MMA at all. Like, I ask them, who's your favorite fighter? They're like, you know what I mean? I don't know who that is. Fighter, there's fights. I just want to punch someone. You know what I mean? They don't think about their sport. They're also sometimes just as good. And I feel like that's why what you're doing is just so brilliant. I feel like what you're doing, this is, that literature exams all over the world, it's like, tell us what the artist meant when he kept blue curtains. It's like, I'm telling you like what you meant when you put blue curtains. No, but what I love, to me at least, is that the way, at least you sounded in the last song and the way you're going to sound in the next song, the reason I think is so brilliant is because it's almost as if you are mocking the type of music you're making by making it so effortlessly and still like, and I hear, by the way, like when it goes into like the bridge, I hear some old complex chords that I wouldn't expect in a song like this, and I'm like, yeah, that's your little I'm still here, you know what I mean? And I just think it's brilliant. Like you've delved into the most opposite thing that you could have possibly done, and you're still damn good at it.
Thank you.
You are George St. Pierre.
Oh shit! Thank you. But I absolutely love the parallel that you drew between songwriting and sports. I think that's amazing. Like, that's absolutely fantastic.
Thanks, I think you got to come down to where I work, and we got to get you an MMA class sometime.
Let's do it. I'm out of shape.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm so out of shape.
That's how you start.
Yeah.
That's where you got to start.
I just really want the shit kicked out of me. I really want that to happen.
I get like 1 or 2 of you a week, by the way. Like the guy who's just like, hey, when's the MMA class start? I'm like, oh, it's 6:30. It's like, okay, will somebody beat me up today? I'm like, no. Damn it. What is wrong with you? No, but yeah, it's a lot. It's really humbling. You never been punched in the face?
No, I've punched someone in the face.
Never been punched?
No, no, yes, I have been punched in the face.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it hard?
It was humiliating.
Okay, yeah.
That's the first feeling that I felt when I got punched in the face. I wasn't
That's the unfortunate kind of punch you can take in the face. The
Really?
MMA punch you take is in like, it's a different environment, right? It's a gym. That's the norm. You're supposed to, and when you remove all of those, like people who say they've been.
No, when I say humiliating, I mean we were sparring.
Oh.
Right, we were sparring. We had gloves on.
Oh.
And I was trying to get in a punch, but I couldn't do it. And then I got just right there.
That is humiliating. no, that is a different feeling. But then you've experienced it. It's the most. At least for me, it's the most vulnerable I've felt whenever I get punched in the face.
Wow.
It's like, whoa, like you're up in my business. First of all, you're here. B, you've hurt me. And then C, there's not much I can do about it, and I really want to cry. You know what I mean? Like right now, I really want to cry. I don't know anything else. I just got punched. I want to like just start.
But there's something there. What is it? Is it an opportunity to get up and because I was scared, right?
Yeah.
You get scared,
Yeah.
and then just having to. What is this? It's you're scared to death, and you show up.
Yeah.
What is that? Life?
That I think that is life. I think
is that why we do all these things? Because it reminds us that this is what life is. And
yeah, and it can end. And I feel like that's something that's the back of all of our minds. And when you're fighting, that's something that's like it's like a risk you kind of assess when you're stepping. Every time I step onto the mats, right? Even if I'm just fighting. Just not fighting, if it's just training just me, even if it's like I'm hitting the bags, even if I'm just shadow boxing, I'm still going in there with the assumption that something terrible could happen at any point. I could slip, fall on my head, whatever, because I'm doing these rigorous movements, and especially when you spar someone and the videos you see on the internet now, some dude got punched the back of the head, now he's like not like his quality of life is severely deteriorated, like he's on a wheelchair, he can't talk, like, you know what I mean? Like, this kind of stuff scares you. It's like some idiot could just hit me in the back of the head, you know what I mean, that can happen to me. So you do assume that risk where you're like, I'm scared shitless, like to go in there and fight. But this is, if you don't do this, at least for me, this is what my thing is. If I don't do this, if I don't go on the mats, if I don't go fight, if I don't then these are conversations I'll have to deal with later. Like, why weren't you training? I've dealt with the conversation of why I'm not a fighter. I've dealt with that because I'm not a fighter. Like,
why?
Because my shoulders keep popping out. Because I'm not physically. There's no physical advantage that I possibly have. My height's too less. My reach isn't that impressive. But what I do have is the ability to speak for hours and hours and hours and hours.
And for people.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
No. Not like.
Yeah.
Like for people who need to be spoken.
Yeah,
for.
I guess. Yeah.
Like you were telling me a little while ago about the things that those pro wrestlers had to go through.
Yeah. Like, pro wrestlers.
Yeah, it's a very important part of the job to be talking about these things.
Because nobody else wants to, man.
Yeah.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
To me, like and I love it. I love it so much, and I hate that nobody wants to talk about it. So I've had that conversation that I don't want to be a fighter, but there's some conversations like, why don't you train? Like, you don't want to fight, but why don't you train? You want to learn about what you're most passionate about. You don't want to be able to throw a check hook clean on someone and actually know when you're like, when I'm sitting here analyzing shit, going like, oh, he landed the check hook clean and I think that was good. And he got a knockdown. Like, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be able to analyze shit better. I just can't live with myself if I don't take the opportunities that are presented in front of me. Like, one day I will look back and I will say, shit, why did you not do that for? You could have, but you didn't. And that's what I'm most scared of. It's like anything. If there's something I should do or I can do, no, if something I can do, I should do it. That's my thing.
If there's something you can do, you should do it.
And obviously I want to do. That's the important thing as well. So heroin is something I can't do, but I don't want to do it. Right? Okay. But you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Something you can do, you should do it.
Yeah. It's just like because why not? Like this ring announcing.
Because there would be regret.
Yeah. Immense
regret if you didn't do it. But those are the external parts. That's output. If I don't produce this, then I feel regret for not producing this.
Yeah.
But where does the motivation to do it in the first place? What is the attraction?
To me?
To you? Yeah.
To what I do?
Yeah.
I just really, I don't know. It's gonna sound. Can I sound corny? May I?
I mean, yes. Yeah. You don't need my permission.
Yeah, I'm just giving forewarning. I just want to be heard.
Heard?
That's my thing. Yeah, I just want to be like. I used to think it was singing, where I would want everybody to hear my voice.
Heard.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like Amber Heard.
Man. Keep going.
Yeah, I used to think it's singing, but then I was like, yeah, I mean, that's my voice. I'm being heard, but I can't elaborate.
So I was at a parents' night conference, right, where the specialist teachers were talking about their subject to the parents, right? And I was, we were told it's 5 minutes each. And there were so many of my colleagues, I'm not saying where I work, obviously. There's so many of my colleagues who went overtime.
Yeah.
Right? And I when it was my turn, I made sure I was within 5 minutes because I'm a performer. I know how कितना काफी है. ठीक है. लेकिन बात ये नहीं थी. बात ये थी कि people really want to be heard, and when they aren't given the opportunity to do it, then they are going to stuff it in the second they get a chance. So they just kept going and going and going. But it's such a human thing to want to speak. There's so many seminars at Alhamra before COVID. जाते थे तो when there was a talk and they would open it to the audience, you'd always see that one or two people who just go on this rant. They wouldn't stop talking. I'm sure I'm sure you've known people like that. I just feel like there's such few avenues where you get to express yourself fully that you come to these small pockets of time and you're like, oh my God, see me. Because that's a human emotion, man. We want to be heard. We want to be heard. We want to be seen as more than the convenient box that you've been kept in, right? Right? Because otherwise, again, that's the jockey, that's the nerd, and and it's nobody's fault. I'm not saying people should be more careful with it. I mean, they should be, but it's convenient. You have to move. Life is vast, and you have to move through shit. And so, but stopping and realizing that, man, everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to say something, and everybody, you know what's terrible? Twitter. on that note,
fuck Twitter.
Are you on Twitter?
I quit Twitter. I'm sure my profile's still there. Oh, there you are. Wait.
Oh shit! I'm on Twitter. Yeah.
You are on Twitter? Yeah. I stopped using Twitter. I have a profile, but I stopped using it. मेरा बेटा आज रो रहा था, मैंने गंदी सी बिल्डिंग लगा दी, and he for real stopped crying. Bro, I hate Twitter, and I hate looking at Twitter. I didn't even tweet much. Like my Twitter is nothing. Like my Twitter was just MMA that nobody gave a shit about. It was literally just me talking to myself like, oh, if this fight happened, I think like zero likes, zero retweets. मैं अपने आप से बातें कर रहा हूँ.
नहीं, मैंने बहुत छोटी following है Twitter पे. It's nothing.
Bro, but when I look at my feed, I hate my feed. It makes me feel so bad. Like the world is a bad place, and I'm a bad person. And like I'm like, man, I didn't do anything.
Why do you do this? I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because social media, you got to be engaged, right? To sell your product and your brand.
Yeah.
But like, fuck that shit. It's like eating McDonald's.
Thanks for the McDonald's.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I had to get dinner, and I was getting late for this place.
Thank you.
And I stopped.
So good.
No. Listen, I ate a McChicken.
Oh, okay.
And I had the fries and and I'm like, I should get something for these guys too.
Thanks.
You're welcome. But I felt like shit afterwards. I don't know if you realized, but that's horrible. It was the worst thing I could have. I should have gotten you guys fruit. Don't you train?
I gobbled that shit up.
Yeah, I saw you.
It's gone. I ate it. It's all gone. Yeah, I do train. I'm gonna have to burn that tomorrow. By the way, thanks. No, dude. McDonald's. Yeah, it is literally. Plastic.
There's something about that meal I ate.
Yeah.
I felt full, but somehow hungrier. Like as if
your body got no nutrients.
No nutrients. Nutrition minus mein chale gayi.
Oh man, I can't imagine like you having to like sit there. And I've been there. So I can't imagine actually. But just the feeling of sitting there and eating a meal that you know is bad, but it's so filling and you need it so bad. But by the time you're done, you're just like wiping your face. You're like, I'm a piece of shit. Like, I hate myself. Like, I can relate so hard to this, man. This is me most night. This is going to be me tonight, probably. I know I train, but dude, I eat 10 times more than like I'll tell you my order tonight. All right. 12 grilled chicken wings. 6 onion rings, 4 dips, and that's what I'm eating. It's 12 wings, 6 onion rings, and I have to train tomorrow morning. And I will order this at like 1 and eat it at 1:45 and go to bed by 2. I'm so good the whole day. And then at 1 a.m. something comes over and I'm like, hi, burger cart. Like, wings, 12 of them.
Have you had homegrown?
Yeah.
I had some last night.
Oh,
it was really good. They have this chicken over rice situation going on, which is nice.
I actually been looking for a good chicken and rice place. I'm sick of Nando's.
This is good.
Okay.
This is good. Give it a shot. Like, it kind of reminds me of Halal Guys, but not, of course, it's not Halal Guys, right? But, lekin acha tha.
I think I might order this tonight.
Kar le yaar.
Like, chicken and rice is way better than 6 onion rings and a barbecue dip and a mayo dip down. It's like khana kam with a sauce out there. Dude, we've talked about everything. I feel like I've gone from like almost crying to almost laughing at my like tears out.
Almost laughing?
No,
not quite laughing? Fuck you, man.
After all this time,
I thought we were having a great time.
Almost laughing. This is almost laughing. Yeah, fuck. No, dude. Thank you. I don't want to. This is definitely one of those. I think you asked me before. Mm-hmm. This is probably my favorite podcast.
Oh man.
No, because I really felt, and I don't say this to everyone. I swear. This is going in the thing. I don't say it on air. But no, really, like, because I never felt like I could just like bare my chest in this, you know. You really made me feel comfortable through this. Thanks.
Thank you. You're very welcome, and thank you so much, man.
Fucking rock on, Shorbanoor. By the way, Umar thought you were a girl. By the way, I just wanted to.
I was a girl?
when he heard the name Shorbanoor, he thought it was like a girl named Noor, and she just added like Shorba in there for some reason. Yeah, he thought that. I was like, no.
Dumbass name. I mean, it's a dumbass name, really. And
great.
of all the things I had to do, I don't know why. I come up with the weirdest name. Porridge Boy? What the fuck is that?
Well, they're still going with it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the podcast. No. I forgot I had to ask you about that whole thing and make a deal about it and be like, why did you Porridge Boy? Like, you know. But I guess we can save that for another day. This is me booking you for the next one. And this is me telling you guys to hold on patiently for the next one.
Yeah.
My friend, it's been an absolute pleasure. I just want to say that.
It's been an honor, sir.
No, dude, fucking love you for this. And thank you for reaching out. And thank you for doing this. I feel like a better person. And for all of you, scumbags. Okay. Please. No, I did forget the last. Your mic's not on. We can't hear you at least. That's fine. Homer reminded me the last segment. We have a last segment in the podcast that every guest gets. You weren't getting for some reason, I guess, because I actually don't like you after all.
Yeah.
But it's your segment. This is Shorbanoor's segment. Anything you want to say, get off your chest, shout out. I'm gonna keep saying some synonyms till you can, that kind of process what you're gonna say. Anything you want to get out there, anything you want to reveal to the world, tell the people, tell the masses, the thousands and thousands. That's just 2,000, right? Subscribers that we have. Thousands. Yeah, the thousands and 1,700 subscribers we have. Anything you want to say, Mr. Shorbanoor?
Yes.
Take the floor.
Okay. To all you young folk in my day, to all those people who are doing it right now, man, you should keep doing it. You should definitely keep doing this. If you enjoy it, you should definitely keep doing it. And you must fail. You must fail and do it publicly. Fail again, fail better. Beckett? Fail better. Fail better.
I hope you fail better.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, go on. This is segment. Sorry.
Is that it?
No, you keep going. I was like,
oh no, I just that if anybody says ki yaar tura gana acha nahi tha na, fuck them. They can go to hell and just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
That's a great closing segment. Thank you. And for all of you watching, you scumbags, I want to say the 3 words that I always say to end the podcast. And before that, I want to say subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, tell your friends, share this video. Go listen to Shehzad Noor, Shorbanoor. That's Shorbanoor's entire discography on Spotify. Check the link in the bio. And from me to you, I just want to say keep it tight. We got more coming. Stay tuned.
That's the last line, by the way. The keep it tight.
Keep it tight?
Keep it tight is the last line, yeah. Nobody knows. Everybody comes on and sometimes I feel like going like, hey, why don't you do the last line? So they can go, we don't know the last line. I mean, you don't listen to the podcast. But yeah, that's what I can do.